Okay, so they give you a model, and what I'm gonna use Sage to do the computation because it looks pretty difficult to compute. So let me shrink this window out, and I'm gonna type this in. Right, I'm gonna start Sage. Launching Sage now. It's launching Python. Python's launched and Sage is launched. So I'm gonna reset, and that clears out any kind of data that might have left over from the prior session. I'm going to define a variable x, and let's just type that in. I'm going to define a function called t of x, and t of x I'm looking at is 16.625. Let's see, I copied that right? 16.625 times. Now, you might find this unusual, but log in Sage is the natural log. And what's going to be x divided by x minus 750. Now, you're going to make mistakes. I do recommend you look at the key to make sure you're not making any mistakes. All right? Hit return. Now, I'm going to start reading it, and it says that this model approximates the length of a home mortgage of $150,000 at 6% in terms of monthly payments. All right? In the model, T is the length of the mortgage in years, and X is the monthly payment in dollars. So use the model to approximate the length of a $150,000 mortgage. Well, that's what this is at 6%. Well, that's what this is if the monthly payments are $897.72. So I'm going to put down T, 897.72. And let's see what I get. I get, approximately 30. Let's take a look at the case, see if we did it right. Yeah, they're saying approximately 30. Right? They also want to approximate it if I were to, make a different payment. Right? So I can put T of, well, it looks like 1659.21. All right? That's how I make those monthly payments. Well, it's a 10-year mortgage now, right? That's approximately right. All right, let's take a look at the next question. Approximate the total amount paid over the term of the mortgage with monthly payments of $897.72. All right, so this is a little more complicated because some people said, what does that mean? Well, I know how long it's going to take. All right, let me go back to that. It's going to take that number of years. All right, that number of years. Now, of course, I want to find out, how many months that is because I'm paying monthly payments, right? So I'm going to do star. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to take that number. Underscore is basically the output from the prior input. Star. That's 12, right? And that's 360 payments. And I'm going to take the payment, which is 897.72. Whoops. Star, that number I just computed. All right, let's put this down, see what happens. And I get that number. Let's just check it out and see if we got that. 323,184, 28. All right. Now I realize some people saying, how could there be, that number there? Because it's really not a whole number of months I'm giving you. There's a partial payment that needs to be made in the end. Let's not worry about that. But that's the total amount of payment I would be making out. All right, let's do it for the 1692 then. Okay, I'll put this over here. I'm going backwards through my thing. All right, that's 10 years. I'm going to take that number and multiply it by 12, just like we did before. And then I'm going to take the amount that I'm paying, 1659.21, multiply it by the prior number, and we get 199,000. Let's take a look. And I'm seeing that number over here. Again, they're doing the computer's doing the computation for me. Let's go to the next question. And the next question is, what amount of the total is interest costs for each payment? Well, let's do that for this number over here. All right. So I realize people are looking at this. What do you mean total interest? All right. So I have to really understand that there's a loan here of $160,000. So it's going to be this number here minus $160,000. All right? So that's going to be the total amount of interest paid. Let's take a look. And I think I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 150,000. I don't know why I said 160. Let me go back. Yes, 150. Sorry about that. So let's do that again. And let me take this number here. I did a copy paste there. Minus 150. That was my mistake, by the way. 1, 2, 3. What number do we get? We get $49,110.83. Let's do the other number. And again, I got these numbers. Yeah, I can always go back over it and look for these numbers. And this is the other one. Hope you remember that. And let me type that in. Minus 150. And how much right there? 173, 184.28. Yeah, they're working out pretty nicely. There's another question over there. All right, use trial and error in your head to figure out the monthly payments that will pay off the loan in 15 years. All right, a little more difficult, isn't it? So I know in 10 years the payment would be $1,659, and I know the other one, the I think that was let's make sure I understand what that means by that. Yeah, 30 and 10. So I know the payment somewhere between those two, right? All right. I want to point out that Sage is actually able to do that. Let me just take a look at this solve. And what I want to do is I want to type in TX, and I want that to be the number of years. I want it to be 15 years, and I want to solve for X. We will go through trial and error, by the way. What do I mean by that? Right? And Sage comes back, wow, it's a crazy looking number, isn't it? So what I want to do is I want to look at that, and I'm going to take the number that they're giving me. They're saying X is that number, and I'm going to copy paste. And what I want to do is just paste it in, and I want a numerical approximation for that, for the payment. I'm going to use the .n notation. And what do you get? Oh, they still didn't do it. You know what? That E there. Let me do this over here. I'm going to back over it, copy paste. And I'll put a decimal there to force it. And I get $1,261.89. Let's see what they got. Yeah, $1,261.89. Now, by the way, what they're saying is use your head. You could do T, and like for example, what would happen if my payments were, $1,000 a month, right? Let me put that in there, and I get 23 years. And then you might say T of $1,100. Oops, let's go with the decimals, right? And that would give me 19 years. Let me go T $1,200. And it's doing the computation for me. So I'm not worried about it. And you get 16 years. All right, I'm getting lower and lower, and certainly have to do more than that. Let's do T 1,300 then, right? Oops, 1,300. And you get 14 years now. So let's go 1,250 now. This is hunting and pecking, isn't it? And I'm getting closer, but it's still too long. Let's keep going. And let's take a look at that. And I'm going to say, let's see, I got 1,250. Let's go 1,260 then. T at 1,260. It's a lot of hunting and pecking, isn't it? I'm getting closer. I could go more, don't I? Let's go 1,261. I'm getting even closer, and I'm going to go 1,262 now. I got to go back and do decimal then, don't I? Well, that's too far, isn't it? So I think you get the idea. It's going to be 1 point something, and you might do 50 now. I still got to pay more. Let's go 75. I get a little bit more. I didn't do 75, did I? I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm getting pretty close now, aren't I? Let's do 1,290. That's too far. Let's go up to 89 now. It's around 1,261, 1,262. But again, remember, we were able to use Sage to solve it for the number. And what number do we get? Let's go back over that again. I'm going to scroll up again. I'm just using the upper arrow to do that, by the way. And I believe we solved an equation, this one over here. I'm going to change the equation a little bit by putting a decimal point here and see if it helps out with the computation. And it still doesn't. So what I'm going to do over here is take the number again, copy paste. I'm going to start putting decimals in the number. I'm actually forcing it to do a computation by doing that. And that's part of learning. You have to learn how to use a computer. Again, $1,261.89 would be the proper answer. Thank you.